The autopsy results are in on Matthew Bolick. He's the man who died last month after being tased in his East Grand Rapids home by police.
The condition doctors say killed him is so rare, a longtime pathologist could only think of one other case in his entire career.
What did not cause the death, according to the autopsy, the tasers used by police. 24-Hour News 8's Susan Samples takes us inside the autopsy room and the pathologist's finding.
This is our autopsy facilities.
Dr. David Start has figured out what led to the deaths of thousands of people here in the basement of Blodgett Hospital. But recently, a first.
It's an unusual case.
It's called acute exhaustive mania, or excited delirium syndrome, and it's marked by out-of-control, delusional, hyperactive, sometimes violent behavior. And Start says it's what killed 30-year-old Matthew Bolick, who died last month after being tased multiple times by East Grand Rapids police.
They're running around, they may be crashing through windows.
Bolick cut his hand breaking through a window during the initial fight that prompted his dad to call 911 for help. Police say Bolick fought them off, hitting an officer, acting bizarrely, the kind of behavior that's often drug-induced, but not in this case. Dr. Start says Bolick had no drugs in his system. His condition was purely psychiatric, likely brought on by a chemical imbalance in the brain that caused him to spin out of control, his adrenaline to shoot up, his body temperature to rise. The result, sudden cardiac arrest.
It's a relatively rare cause for sudden death.
Start, who usually sees one or so fatal drug-induced delirium a year in Kent County, can only remember one other purely psychiatric case in his career, a patient in a Florida mental hospital. Start says Bolick had no diagnosed mental conditions, though police say he did have some delusions in the weeks before his death. What triggered the sudden psychiatric symptoms at 30 years old?
It's really unknown why it happened when it did, and I don't really know, and I don't know if anyone really knows.
In Grand Rapids, Susan Samples, 24-Hour News 8.
Though Dr. Start says he found no evidence that tasing played a role in Bolick's death, East Grand Rapids police say the two officers involved will stay on paid administrative leave until Grand Rapids police complete their investigation.